How do you turn word problems into quadratic equations? Have you ever faced a word problem in math and wondered how to turn it into a quadratic equation? You are not alone. Many learners find this process challenging, but it can be straightforward with a few clear steps. Let's break it down together. First, take a moment to read the problem carefully. Identify what is being asked and the quantities involved. Look for keywords that indicate relationships between numbers, such as sums, products, distances, or areas. These clues will guide you in forming your equations. Next, define your variables. Typically, you will assign a variable, often represented by the letter x, to stand for an unknown quantity in the problem. Sometimes, you may need more than one variable, but often one will suffice if you express other quantities in terms of it. Now, it is time to translate the relationships into equations. Use the information given in the problem to write expressions for the quantities and their relationships. For instance, if the problem states that the sum of two numbers is 18, you can write an equation like x plus y equals 18. If you can express one variable in terms of the other, substitute it into another relationship. As you substitute expressions into one another, you may find that the resulting equation involves the variable squared, which indicates it is quadratic. For example, if the product of two numbers is 56 and one number is expressed as 18 minus x, then the equation becomes x times 18 minus equals 56. When you expand and rearrange this, you will arrive at a quadratic equation. Squared minus 18x plus 56 equals 0. Next, ensure your equation is in standard form. A quadratic equation is typically written as a times x squared plus b times x plus c equals 0, where a, b, and c are constants. Make sure one side of your equation equals 0. Once you have your quadratic equation, you can solve it using various methods such as factoring, completing the square, or applying the quadratic formula to find the values of the variable that satisfy the equation. Finally, interpret the solutions. It is important to translate the solutions back into the context of the problem to determine which answers are practical and make sense. Let's look at a practical example. Suppose you have a problem that states, the sum of two numbers is 22 and their product is 120. Find the numbers. You would let x representing one number. Then, the other number would be 22 minus. The product equation would be x times 22 minus equals 120. Expanding this gives you 22x minus squared equals 120. Rearranging leads to x squared minus 22x plus 120 equals 0. By following these steps, you can confidently convert word problems into quadratic equations. This method makes real-world situations more manageable through algebra, helping you build a solid foundation in understanding how quadratic equations can model various scenarios. Remember to look for clues that indicate a squared term and keep track of units to avoid confusion. Happy problem solving!